So the other day, something popped up on the Switch Reddit, and then you could see it on their Twitter. There's a new app that apparently is coming, and it's going to allow you to play your PC games on things like your Xbox One, in your web browser at work, for example, or strangely, your Switch. And this app, or at least this company right now, is called Rainway. You can actually go to their website at rainway.io. And they are touting this ability for the Switch in the form of an app. So what happens is you download an app. They seem to say it's going to be on the eShop, which is interesting because I feel like Nintendo would have kind of looked at this and said, maybe. Or maybe they're fine with it because it gives the Switch way more functionality at this point than what it had before. Consider this. If you can do this and it plays well, then the Switch would be able to play any game on Steam as long as you had an okay computer. So let me explain what's going to happen here, just in case you're not 100% sure. You would have a gaming computer set up downstairs in your other room, or maybe even in the same room, and you want to turn on something like your Switch and just play it while you're sitting on the couch, for example, without having to get up, go over to your desk, sit down at a computer, and kind of play over maybe on the other side of the room, or like I said, downstairs. You would stream through your home network. So in this case, any of the really popular games, let's say you want to play something that will probably never come to, say, the Switch or an Xbox One, like let's say Civilization 6, for example. You can set that up. You can turn on your computer, I assume. You can access it, again, I assume from this Rainway app that is also running on your computer. And at that time, it launches it and you're playing on your system of choice. They said it's going to work for Xbox One or apparently your Nintendo Switch. And it's very interesting that they would do this already. I thought this was something that would be here like a while down the road. I didn't think we'd be getting it anytime soon. Now, game streaming isn't new. We've dealt with this before. Steam even has something you can buy called Steam Link that its whole purpose is to do this. But the fact that you can pick your system that you want, it appears to run through a web browser, but they're going to make an app for the Switch, which I assume accesses kind of the built-in web browser. It does exist in the system right now. And then you would just access your computer almost in like a mirror fashion where whatever's happening on your computer is also happening on your Switch. Now, like I said, this really helps the Switch or the Xbox One or a cheapo laptop to actually be something more than their closed ecosystem and environment of games. I'm very interested to see if Nintendo actually approves this app, because these people can say, hey, we're going to try to put it on the Switch, we're going to do our best to put it there. I think Microsoft will, though, because it's your computer, it's running Windows, why not? So they don't care because they're getting their money anyway. It's going to be interesting to see how Nintendo handles this, though, because would Nintendo let them do this? That's hard to say, because then what's stopping you from just buying your games on Steam, on your computer, and then not buying games on the Switch? You just use your Switch almost as like a portal. While it makes the Switch more useful, does it really benefit Nintendo? Well, it's hard to say, because again, then you can do everything in your computer. You won't even have to play online with Nintendo's service. You technically would not have to pay them money to play online, because you would just play through your computer when you're doing things like Overwatch or things like that. Even if there are cross-platform games, let's go out on a limb and say FIFA, for example. FIFA is going to be on all the consoles from the Switch to the PC. What's stopping you from buying it on the PC and then playing it on your Switch and not paying Nintendo that monthly fee for playing online? Is the experience on the PC better? Probably. I mean, the visuals are going to be better, obviously. The online play will probably be better too, or at least the same, but you wouldn't have to pay that monthly fee. And really, maybe Microsoft doesn't want to do that either, although they seem to have no problem putting the same game on a computer, or in this case, the Xbox, because they want to charge you that monthly fee or that yearly fee, if you want to go that way, with Xbox Live. That's where a lot of their money comes from. But all of a sudden, you play the same games on your Xbox that are on your computer, not much stopping you at that point from just not paying the fee and playing on your computer. So it'll be interesting to see how these companies handle this situation. There is no release date that I can see for Rainway. It just says coming soon on they have a full video playing on their website, and it just talks about how it'll work where you use any GPU, not NVIDIA or AMD specific. As long as you have a GPU that supports DirectX 11, you can make this work. So, which is probably any one you buy now. You buy anything, it's going to support DirectX 11 either way. So you're good there. I will be curious to see how the setup is, because they say pain-free setup. We know that's not always the case. And then, of course, I'll be curious to see the latency, because latency has always been a problem with these streaming apps or ideas. It always comes down to latency. If you press a button here, how long does it take to actually happen on the screen? Is that going to mess with me in things like fighting games or first-person shooters? It won't really mess with you in like an RPG. Other ones, Probably. But yeah, guys, feel free to check this out. Like I said, it's rainway.io. I'll be very curious to hear what your guys' thoughts on this. And that's all for Newswave Extra, guys. I thought you might want to hear about the possibility of the Switch being able to stream PC games. It was something we kind of had an idea on, or at least thought when we started hearing that NVIDIA would be essentially providing chips and almost building the system, considering their Shield tablet could do the same thing. Looks like that might become a reality, guys. That's all for now. I will see you next time.